the environment or for animal cruelty. So it's a very complicated area, but the reality is that as chefs, we need to be prepared to cater for them. So it's about having more options that are delicious and that we produce with integrity. So it's not about substituting lower quality ingredients, but using higher quality, naturally plant-based ingredients, and doing it with intention, not just kind of to cater for people.
What do you think about pastry chefs who say, well, I'm not changing my things. I don't want to cater for people who are allergic to lactose, for instance. So
I mean, I think depending on where that customer experience is, I think at the end of the day, you have some chefs who I've seen who will advertise and say, no, we don't cater for dietary requirements, or we don't cater for, vegans and things like that. And you can do that, but I think for the vast majority of the industry, I think it'd be more responsible to be a bit more flexible and to accommodate, because essentially we're in the business of hospitality and of serving customers, so we should make an effort to give people more than fruit salad for dessert.
Yes. Thibaut, now what you said and your colleagues, what do you think these trends that are now visible in the London pastry industry, how and if they are going to influence the future of the London pastry scene, and in your opinion, what that future would look like?
Yes, for me, for sure, on the future, it will be more and more vegan dietary like that, for sure. This is the way we are going, because it's going more and more each year. I remember when I first started in London, so it was 7 years ago. I arrived from Paris, and it was almost no dietary there. In Paris, it was nothing, no extra menu, no extra dessert. So it was more like a fruit plate or something like that. So when I arrived in London, it was like a kind of a shock, because we have to do other menu, special dietary to answer to all our customers. So at the beginning it was a bit. We have to change everything what we used to do. Butter, milk, egg is the base of the pastry. What we learn at school. So it was very difficult to change. But to be honest, now since I'm at the colleges, I start to have more and more pleasure to work the vegan, because we have more and more substitute things. We can have nice taste, nice texture, nice, almost like normal cakes. So for me, the future of the pastry is not only the vegan, of course, for sure, but it will be to have a nice item in terms of vegan.
Yeah, it's about having more options,
What about having some of your signature desserts with no allergen ingredients?
Without?
Yes,
okay.
no allergen at all. So I know that pastry chefs say it's possible. We can do without milk, cream,
yes.
Nuts. There are substitutions for this.
This for sure, because for example, we opened Art Space, is like a coffee shop with some cakes inside, and the Claridge's crest, so is the Claridge's logo. This one I decided to make it gluten-free, vegan, nuts-free, everything's free, but with taste, of course. We try to have the texture, the taste, everything.
Yeah, of course.
Nice inside.
Yeah.
But just to make one cake like good for everyone. For sure, if we are looking for the good recipe, we can find a nice.
Yes.
Nice
at least one.
Yes.
Everybody
exactly.
should. Yeah.
Yes. Just to please everyone.
Nicholas, what do you think about the London pastry scene future? What, in your mind, what it will look like? Or is it unpredictable?
Well, yeah, it's unpredictable, but I mean, there's a lot of new trends as well. Like, I mean, my colleagues mentioned about the vegan, nut-free, we need to adapt it. We need to change some of our menu, and we need to have option for everyone, I believe. For example, in pastry shop, in Connaught pastry shop, we have few items, no nuts, no gluten, or even no eggs. But we need to do that. I think this is trend. As well, now you have the technology, which is help a lot, which is the future. 3D printer, we use a custom company who are making silicone mold for us. We have a cutting machine. We have plenty of option now with the technology that help us. We can source as well more products. I know I said later on that is not, we use local product, but some products that you can't get from UK, so you can get from other part of the country. And now with the fusion that is in London, is more and more new products coming. Yeah, so which is really interesting for the future of the gastronomy of London. Yeah.
So do you tell your customers this is a 3D printed, let's say, eclair?
Well, I have the signature, at the Connaught, I have a signature Connaught hound. So the hound, the dog, is our logo. And we have a cake in the shop in the shape of the hound. And by piping, by hand, with the spatula, is impossible to do it. And the guest never question, to be honest, if it's made with a 3D printer, but they see the beauty of the product and they are impressed, and the first thing they are saying is, wow.
How did you do that?
Yeah.
Philip, is technology going to be even more present in pastry, like the rest of gastronomy?
Yeah, to add what Nicola is saying, there have been so many advancements in accessible technology, things that might have been available maybe if you had a lot of money, big budget, and with very specialized application, are now things that, you know, chefs, we can have access to in the kitchen. So previously, you'd have to spend a lot of money to make silicon molds, a lot of money to make polycarbonate or like PVC molds. So now you can do it all. You can 3D print the positives. You can make molds. You know, a chocolate mold, for example, that might have taken 3 to 6 months to set up, and you would have had to spend at least, you know, maybe £4,000 to £6,000. You can now set up within a week at a minimum cost of, say, £14. So it does change what you can do and the time frames. And so where we might have reserved that sort of technology to a very special high-budget project, we can now do for a tasting the next week at very low cost. So, and I think, yeah, you'll see across all the patisseries in London some amazing molds that come out that just give, when the foundation is the same, we have to keep pushing the presentation. So technology helps us do that.
What about taste?
Yeah, so I think everyone, you have to be very conscious when you are using molds, for example, that it's still edible, that you're not using too much chocolate, that it's still delicious to eat, that it still delivers on you know, all the expectations that you have of a classic piece of patisserie.
Do all your companies, the people you work for, do they have this kind of understanding of a lot of money that has to be invested in the past your future?
I mean, when we ask our management that we want to buy a mold or create a mold, yes, there's a cost behind, and you all the time need to think as well how to make it rentable. So, like when you can get money back from when you are selling the cakes. So, of course, if the mold is too complicated, it costs 10,000. It's not possible to do it, but if it's reasonable, if you work on it, if you find different material, like silicone or soft silicone, it will be different price. So we need to think as well with the designer how to make it cost effective. Yeah.
Guys, what about AI in pastry? Anyone is doing it? No?
Not on my side.
No, no.
Not yet?
No.
So that's the future, maybe. Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you so much for participation, and I'm sure that it was worth for these few people to stay this long. And
Thank you for staying.
Thank you very much.
thank you. Okay, thank you.